Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 16th annual Paula Bailey Dining in the Dark, or maybe I should say the inaugural virtual Paula Bailey Dining in the Dark. Either way, welcome and thank you so much for being here. I'd also like to extend a huge thank you to our sponsors, Public Supermarkets Charities, Doug and Elizabeth Bailey, Amy Elam, Deb Bailey, Superior Painting, M of Tallahassee, and Hancock Bank. Without you guys, we simply couldn't have made this happen, so thank you. Now on to our program. Since 1983, LBB has been enhancing the lives of individuals who live with vision loss in the Big Bend through direct services, community engagement, and education. Last year, LBB served 338 clients ranging from newborns to seniors, and we provided 5,728 hours of training. How do we accomplish this? Well, it takes an incredibly dedicated team, a supportive board of directors, generous funders and sponsors, and it takes the participation of people like you. The revenue raised from this event is going to cover the cost of hundreds of hours of training for people in our community. And on behalf of all of them, all the people that receive our services, thank you. But we're hoping your participation won't end when this event is over tonight. We're hoping that you'll get just a glimpse into what it's like for a person with vision loss and the obstacles they have to overcome. We also hope that you'll share that insight with your family, your friends, your coworkers, members of the community you hang out with. But we also hope that you'll spread the word about the services available here so that the people who really need to find us can find us. People like Paula Bailey, the incredible woman for which this event is named. So to start off our program, I am really excited to introduce Lieutenant Shea from the Leon County SWAT team, Leon County Sheriff's Office SWAT team. So go ahead, Lieutenant Shea, and take it away.
Good evening. My name is Kevin Shea. I'm with the Leon County Sheriff's Office, and I'm the team leader for the SWAT team. Welcome. I hope everybody's having a wonderful time, and I hope you have a great time with this event. I was invited to speak to y'all this evening because this is being done virtually, and unfortunately the SWAT team will not be serving you like we normally do in years past. Fortunately for us, we have had the pleasure of doing this since its inception more than 10 years ago. I've been part of it since I got on the team back in 2009, and I've participated every year, and the years that I've missed, the other team members have been there as well. So we've been doing it consecutively since it started. Just to go through a few things, what we normally do, I've just brought a couple props here so you would normally see us wearing our helmets and our night vision. So the folks here at the Lighthouse, they do a wonderful job of making sure that the room is completely dark. And we bring in infrared lighting that is only visible with the night vision binocular. And that allows us to see and give you all your drinks and your plates. And then we get to sit back and watch you all struggle while you try to eat in complete darkness. I mean, it is black. It is super dark. You can't see your hand in front of your face. Most people have never experienced that type of darkness. Unfortunately, except for those who are visually impaired. And the fortunate part for us as a team is the learning experience that we have had as being part of this event. It has helped teach us and show us things that we took for granted in the past. It's made us think about the difficulties that visual impairment creates on a daily basis. And I was just speaking to the personnel here at Lighthouse about things that I probably used to ignore, such as non-24, that now every time I hear about it, it makes me stop and think. And fortunately for me, it makes me realize how lucky I am that I am not visually impaired. But as a team, it is a really, it's an honor to see folks who deal with this impairment on a daily basis, and we have a lot of respect for y'all and this event and Lighthouse and everybody with the Big Bend that puts this together every year. we can't thank you all enough. It is truly an honor to be part of this event, and unfortunately, we are going to have to miss it this year because it's being done virtually, but we can't wait to get back in the years to come. Hopefully this fall or the next one when it is scheduled, whenever it's coming up in the years to come, we'll continue to be part of this wonderful tradition. And we always have such a great time, and it's a lot of fun. And unfortunately, it's not happening this year due to the pandemic, but we hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and we would like to thank the people of Lighthouse and the Big Band for putting this together still, even though it has to be virtual. But we do look forward to being part of this in the future, and we're so thankful for being part of it since the beginning. So thank you all. It's a pleasure, and it's all ours, and we wish you the best.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Shea, and thank you to the Leon County Sheriff's Office for their continued support of this event. We look forward to seeing you next year. So before I introduce our keynote speaker, I want to remind everyone that our silent auction is still happening, and it closes at 8:30. There are a lot of great trips that are good for 3 years, so make sure you get in, bid, and get yourself a trip. Also, if you're going to participate in the Messiest Table competition, please make sure you're submitting those pictures of yourself online on our Facebook page. So now I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker for this evening. She's a member of our LBB team and is here to share her story with you. Please give a warm welcome to our very own Larisha McCall.
Hello and welcome to the 16th annual Paula Bailey Dining in the Dark fundraiser. My name is Larisha McCall, and I work for the Lighthouse of the Big Bend as a vision rehabilitation therapist. I'd like to take a moment to share what my experiences have been, not only as a Lighthouse employee, but also as a receiver of blind services myself. I was born legally blind. Like many parents, my mother and father were unsure about what my future would look like. As I grew older, I quickly learned that in order to make it in this world, I would have to go above and beyond to prove to myself and others that even though I'm blind, I can still be a contributing member of society and make an impact. I did this by taking a couple of very essential steps. The first one being working hard to earn my education. I am so thankful for the work of Teachers for the Visually Impaired, because without them, many blind and visually impaired students like myself would not be able to have access to the technology and materials that are needed to keep up in a school setting with sighted peers. The second step in my road to independence was receiving specialized training from my local lighthouse while attending graduate school. Much like the training that I provide to my students today, I learned how to live independently and adapt to life's challenges while being visually impaired. I was taught how to cross streets and take public transportation so that I could travel independently. I learned how technologies like Zoom text and VoiceOver could help me achieve my dreams by giving me access to the computer in a way that was accessible for me. At that point in my life, I knew that I wanted to help other individuals who were blind and visually impaired get the training that they needed in order to be successful. So I became a certified vision rehabilitation therapist in order to provide the training and services that changed my life so drastically. Today, as a specialist at LBB, I have the opportunity to provide training to students of all ages in areas such as independent living, assistive technology training, and for those working age adults, job readiness services. I am proud to be a part of LBB's mission to enhance the lives of individuals who live with vision loss. I'd like to thank everyone again for attending our virtual Dining in the Dark this year. Your support of our organization truly changes lives for the better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Larisha. It's now time to announce the winner of this year's Paula Bailey Inspirational Community Member Award. Paula grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and moved to Tallahassee to go to FSU, much like a lot of us. She graduated with a master's in arts communication, got married to Doug Bailey, had a daughter, Elizabeth, and had a successful career as a media consultant and graphics editor. Life was great until 1999, when Paula developed meningitis, which robbed her of her sight and hearing. The services Paula received at LBB helped her reclaim every aspect of her life and eventually become a member of the LBB Board of Directors. In 2005, however, on their way to the Springtime Tallahassee Parade, the Baileys were in a car accident and Paula passed away. The Paula Bailey Inspirational Community Member Award is given to someone in the community who, like Paula, has overcome obstacles dealing with their vision loss, but also has served as an inspiration for others to do the same. So this year's nominees are James Young, Sila Miller, and Roger Walton. Now I'm going to give you just a little bit of information on each of our nominees. James Young is an elder in his church, an active participant in the state and national conventions for the National Federation of the Blind, is a member of the board of directors for the Tallahassee chapter of the National Federation of the Blind, and apparently their biggest fundraiser. But somehow he even finds time to help raise his grandkids. Sila Miller works at the Florida Department of Education's Division of Blind Services, is an active member of the Tallahassee chapter of the Florida Council of the Blind, and a member of the Tallahassee Transit Advisory Committee. Roger Walton is retired from Lockheed Martin, is a partner on the podcast The Blind Leading the Blind. He's a musician who performs at the Florida Folk Music Festival and a regular participant in LBB's support group. So now I'd like to announce the winner of this year's Paula Bailey Inspirational Community Member Award. And this year's award goes to Sila Miller. Congratulations, Sila. Before I invite Sila to our virtual stage, I'd like to say a few words and share with you a little more of her story. Sila was born in the 60s in rural North Florida. Her vision loss was a result of her mother being given the anti-miscarriage drug DES, which now we know leads to the underdevelopment of the eyes. At the time, there were not many education options for children with vision loss, so her parents made the terribly difficult decision to send her away to school, to the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine. The profound feelings of abandonment and homesickness Miss Miller felt could certainly have led her to be distrustful and bitter at a very young age. Yet she strived to focus on making friends and succeeding academically, both of which she certainly did. After graduating from the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind, Mrs. Miller opted against college, in large part because she simply missed her family. So Mrs. Miller and her new husband, Robert, who is also visually impaired, moved onto the family's land in order to be close to them. But the realities of two non-drivers trying to attend college and find meaningful employment soon led them to move to Tallahassee, where Mrs. Miller secured work with the state of Florida, where she has worked for the past 34 years. She progressed up through the ranks in the Department of Children and Families, worked at the Department of Revenue until recently, when she took a position at the Florida Department of Education's Division of Blind Services, where she assists with dispute resolution and program development. Closer to home, she has served on LBB's Board of Directors, held several offices with the Tallahassee chapter of the Florida Council of the Blind, and continues her involvement and advocacy in improving bus service and pedestrian safety in Tallahassee by occupying a seat on Tallahassee's Transit Advisory Committee. In summary, Mrs. Miller not only perfectly embodies a determined yet joyful spirit, an intelligent and practical mindset, and a most generous and compassionate heart, but she just as perfectly acts upon the world around her to improve it. So please join me in welcoming Miss Sila Miller.
I am absolutely humbled to receive and be recognized with an award named for such an icon as Paula Bailey. I had the pleasure of knowing Paula, and we've all cringed when we hear these, "Oh, you're such an inspiration. Oh, you're so amazing." But those sentiments are accurate and true when it comes to Paula. She was a wife, a mother, a friend, a public speaker, an advocate, and to me, most inspirational, an overcomer. She lost her vision and her hearing just like that. But she didn't waste a lot of time with self-pity, and what a legacy she left. So for me to be nominated and then chosen for the Paula Bailey Award is truly an honor. And following the theme of Ms. McCall's eloquent keynote address, it has been my privilege to work in the field of human service, and most recently in the service of blind folks. To my nominators, you stinkers, thank you. Those words truly blessed my heart. To the committee who selected me, thank you very much. To my parents and my educators, thank you for making hard decisions and pushing me. And to my husband and friends, thank you for supporting and loving me. And lastly, to God, thank you for blessing me with lifelong opportunities to serve and help and advocate. God bless Lighthouse of the Big Bend, blind people everywhere, and God bless America.
Thank you so much, Sila. Well, folks, we are almost at the end of our program, so you know what that means. It means it's almost time to find out who won the trips, the silent auction trips, and who won the Messiest Table Award. It's a high honor. The silent auction closes at 8:30, so I will see you right back here at 8:45. See you in a few.
Thank you again for participating in this year's, the 16th annual Paula Bailey Dining in the Dark. As promised, we're going to announce our Messiest Table Award first, and that is actually going to go to Miss Cam Stoner. Congratulations, Cam. Nice messiness on your part. And the silent auction, I know we promised you we would announce the winners, but the company that helps us with that site has suggested we contact those winners directly. So if you won a trip, you will be contacted directly. If you have any issues, please give me an email, shoot me an email at info@seeingindependence.org. Once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Doug and Elizabeth Bailey, Public Supermarkets Charities, Amy Elam, Jeb Bailey, Hancock Whitney, M of Tallahassee, Superior Painting, and our media sponsors, Tallahassee Magazine and WCTV. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank our incredible partners who made tonight happen. Eddie at Bumpa's, thank you. The food was amazing. Barbie with Red Eye Coffee, the teas that you prepared for us were fantastic. And Bob at Over Under Bar, wow, what a great selection. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the partners. Thank you to all the sponsors. Thank you to every one of you who bought tickets and supported us this year. We really appreciate it. And we had so much fun seeing all of you come by and pick up your meals today. So we will see you next year. And I leave you with this. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much, by Helen Keller. Good night, everyone.